spectacular together. Send me your info to info@cmpradio.net. We're looking for content creators, videographers, everything, man. Let's grow something special right here. Homegrown, Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's go. Let's get it down, man. It's your boy, Uncle Pete, reminding you, man. cmpradio.net. Cultivating mature positivity.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. Behind the scene, my tears fall down. So many things have happened. The years go by and the friends you have for no more. Jealousy and envy. Wow, because you keep on grinding. People wanna see you fail, and although you fall, just move on. Crabs in a barrel, want what you have, try to pull you down. Don't wanna work, just wanna take. They also pay on me. The more you hate, I'll get lifted. Hate on me. The more you hate, I'll get lifted. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. People come, people go. Where they at, I don't know. Liabilities, your creativity, assets I need.
Check.
How y'all doing out there in Facebook land? I always get a little pause because I always imagine y'all sitting there saying, we alright. And I'm alright too. Tonight, before we get started into our conversation, which by the way is going to be about perfection, tonight I'm going to introduce two comedians to y'all that y'all may not have, well, y'all definitely didn't meet them on this show, but have been in plenty of shows at the cafe when we had our comedy running on. First to my left is Major. Say hello to the people, Major.
Hello, everyone.
And Billy Ray.
How y'all doing tonight?
So what I want y'all to do, I'm gonna start with you first, Major. Tell everybody what you do, where they can find you at, and put all your information out there.
Yes. My name is Major. I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania. My social media platform is Major _ Downtown Jabuki Brown. All one word. And I'm the only one with that name on Facebook and on any social media right now. And if you're on Instagram, you can also see me on Downtown Jabuki Brown _ Major.
Oh.
It's that simple.
Billy Ray.
Yeah, BillyRick.com. You can Google me.
That sounds kind of dirty when people say you can Google me.
You know what I mean?
Just Google me.
He's Googleable.
So tonight conversation, as I said, we're going to talk a little bit about perfection. We're going to talk about it for a little bit, and then I'm going to let both of these gentlemen do like a short set, and then we'll get back into the conversation. So, perfection. What I realized, and I was speaking about this on a live the other day, I realized that perfection to people, we as human beings always say, you know what, you ain't got to be perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. We say nobody's perfect, but the moment that you're not perfect, people complain about you. It's almost as if we want to seem like good people to say like, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, we always want to be like we're those kind of folks, like we're all forgiving, like we're greater than what we are in a sense. And I think that we need to look that way in order for us to be okay with ourselves. You got what I'm saying? It's kind of like for you to tell somebody they ain't got to be perfect, it makes you seem better for it. Like you have this greater understanding of life and a greater understanding of faults of people. You got what I'm saying? But the whole time we tell people that in the moment that they move outside of what we may view as perfection, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. It's kind of how you look at a lot of people as your idols. You put people on these pedestals, whether it be male or female. Sometimes it might be your kids. Sometimes it could be a family member. Whatever the case, you put them up high. In a moment you see them do something like smoke some weed or something, you're like, oh my God.
Yes.
You know, the moment you see your pastor flirt with somebody, it's like, your whole thought and vision of what perfection was is now shattered, and you don't look at them the same way. So now they're on the far end of the spectrum of what you would consider even being, you know, remotely close to perfection. But I think that we expect that in our relationships as well. I mean, what you think?
I think perfection is definitely always it's required for a lot of us, you know, and it's a pressure. It's a pressure. It's very. My thing is, I think sometimes we ourselves look at trying to be perfect, but we can't be because
It's unattainable.
it's very unattainable, you know. And of course, like you said, we've heard that growing up. You know, you don't have to. Nothing's perfect. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
But
All day long. All day long.
we need to seek for perfection, though. We have to.
I think it's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I kind of think. So we set these bars and we set these bars high. We say, all right, you know, you jump for the stars and what do they say?
Reach
jump
for the stars.
moon, and if you miss, you can still fall amongst the stars. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And we get these big like aspirations on what we need to be, and we work hard at that. And then sometimes when people don't reach it, they can't come to terms inside of themselves, and people do stuff like commit suicide.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? People do stuff like, you know, go off the deep end and be ready to murder people and everything else because they have not reached something that we can't possibly reach.
It's like they gotta understand it's like an in between. You dig what I'm saying? It's not just from the bottom to the top. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a struggle in between. Like it's something that I keep myself going as far as like with anything I do, like that I like.
That's a
You
lot
know
of
what I mean?
likes.
Real likes.
You like, if I get to a point where I failed before, I know that point.
Yeah.
So I know how to thrust myself back up from that point that I failed at already.
Yeah, no doubt.
You dig what I'm saying? A lot of people go all the way back to the beginning of wherever it caused them to think the way they think about somebody else's way of perfection. Because everybody's way of perfection is based on their perception.
It is.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. What's going on, Tyrone? Down at the Ten of Life. Hey, Christy. Good evening. And Patricia, how you doing this evening? Yeah, to me personally, I always think about perfection. Trying to reach perfection is like every day you going outside and you're practicing on jumping up to grab the moon. So you're jumping and Lord knows you're so far away from the moon, you ain't never gonna get there. You'll never break the Earth's gravity. You'll never make it. But what can happen is you'll get better at jumping. And you could possibly jump as high as you could jump. And you may jump better than every human being you know. You might even get to the point that you jump better than any human being that ever lived. And you might set a record. But that record can be broken down the road, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But the closest you can come to being perfect is being the best you that you can be. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what perfection is. Like, and when I say the best you that you can be, that's with all your faults. That's with everything. You can only be the best you.
I think also what helps you to help get to perfection is having ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership for your actions.
Yeah, that go hand in hand though.
Yeah,
It
no
do.
doubt.
That go hand in hand, like manning up to any fault of your own. That's gangster, like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most people they don't do that. Most people wanna sweep their wrongdoing and their faults up under the rug. They wanna act like my grandma used to say, like their shit don't stink. You know what I mean?
Funky.
Everybody wanna walk around like they're better than somebody else, better than the person standing next to you, when in reality you're not. Like I always had my kids tell me how smart I was. When they was little, my kids thought I was the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, but that was because they were looking at me through eyes of a child, and through those eyes they saw perfection in me.
Yes.
The sad part is it made me kind of work harder to maintain that, because the older they got, the more and more they start realizing things around them.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, oh, dad ain't perfect. The first time they came home with that calculus problem, and I never took calculus. And they like, hey, dad, what's this? And I'm like, oh, shit. And
What is it?
Yeah,
You tell me.
Let me see what you know about it. You
Indeed.
know? I'm starting
Right.
to tell them stuff like, look, you're going to have to pay attention in school. And I think that it was nothing that hurt me more than the day that I had to tell my kids, I don't know. Because I think a small part of them kind of broke with all of that. I think they didn't even believe me when I said it. But just because they looked at me like I was perfect, I had to work harder to maintain their image of me.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
Just when they was little,
Yeah.
when your children was little,
Yeah.
you couldn't Google it.
Nah.
No
Remember, Google wasn't like that at first. Google wasn't like that at first.
did
Thanks
that
for the
so
stars, Patricia.
I did that so fast, Mike.
Yeah.
I Googled my son, man.
Yeah,
I said, we're
man.
going to get this right now.
I mean, well, my oldest is 27. You know what I mean? So the whole time, back when they was younger, we wasn't Googling. Back when they was younger, they had the chirps and stuff. The smartest phones was the ones that did have the app. But even the games on there was just like the snake.
Yeah.
You eating the
Wow.
little pebble thing, you gotta chase it down. Like, it wasn't none of
Never
this.
see that again.
Yeah, it wasn't none of this extra stuff that's going on now. Now,
Shout out to Nokia.
yeah.
Shout out to Nokia. I heard that.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, though. And Singular had that little cheap phone, but it worked. You know what I mean? So the whole thing becomes, we didn't have a wealth of information at our fingertips. They just kind of thought we knew because we knew everything else. But it's amazing how
It is.
their thought processes of me being everything made me try to be everything. But I think it hurt me the moment that they had to find out that I wasn't. But even today, my daughters call me. My daughters ask me 50 million questions. My daughters ask my opinion. They respect my opinion because I think deep down inside, they still know. Like, they used to tell me I was famous because they said, everybody know you. We can't go nowhere without nobody knowing you. And I said, well, you know what? Let me go up to Darby
Yo,
and walk around, see how many people speak to me. You know, let's go out
Different
to South
look.
Dakota. Let's see how many people know me. I'm like, people know me where I'm at because I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
where I live. That's
you
where I
might,
move.
you might get a lot of hate, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, now you be shocked. Like, you go somewhere, you ain't even familiar. Hey, buddy, you look friendly, Mike. I'm trying to tell you, you look friendly.
I don't know, man.
Got the friendly face.
I don't know, man. I think I look angry.
You
half
got the
the
hey,
time.
buddy
Nah,
face. What's
Yeah.
going on? How you doing? Let me tell you a bad time story.
Yeah, well, I'm, at this point, I'm working on right now, man. My first son, little Major, he's 4 years old. And he definitely looks at me as, I think, that Superman.
Yeah.
Almost perfect, He doesn't even know what perfect is. No one knows what perfect
Yeah.
is until they're taught, right? Just like colors and anything else, of course.
Yeah.
But, man, my thing is, I'm just more so trying to be a better dad, trying to know how to be something that I never was.
But see, he don't know that. Right
Exactly.
now, to him,
He doesn't.
Right now, you're God. You're like Superman.
No, I'm the French fry king.
You're the French.
When I walk in, indeed, I better not come in without a bag of fries.
There you go.
Fresh out the grease. Yes, guy.
He like, these things is hot.
Indeed.
Like, yup.
And he be like that. He eats it up. He eats it up.
But that's the whole thing, though. I think that it's because of those things that he formulates an opinion right now that you're, the best thing since sliced bread. And the crazy part is he makes you rise to the occasion. So it always kind of hit me sideways when I saw dudes or even females for that matter, especially nowadays, like dart out on their kids and stuff like that. I never understood how that worked because I can't picture it. I cannot picture not being there for my kids. You know what I mean? As old as they are. But anyway, I don't want to get too far, off in left field. But
Now, that's part of life. Like
That is.
anything part of life is never left field. You know what I mean?
yeah, but just striving for that whole look of like perfection and what is perfection and why do we punish ourselves for not being perfect or being in that perfect world.
All right, I got a saying that I say to myself. I say the eyes tell a million lies before the brain distinguish what the truth is. What that mean to me is I see a lot of fabricated stuff before me before I see something real.
Yeah.
So I don't fall for perfection. I fall for understanding. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why I always say one of my favorite sayings is seek first to understand, then to be understood.
exactly.
Like if you try your hardest to understand everything around you,
But hey,
like you get into a better space to communicate, you get into a better space to be, most people will gravitate to you
open. It's
because
called
they
open.
want to
It's
feel
called
like
open.
they
That's
true.
Yeah.
it's like an open portal.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest with you, it's really like an open portal.
Yeah. No
You know
doubt.
what I mean? Like, it's a wonderful feeling. Like, it's a wonderful feeling. Only thing I'm upset at, like, I got an eye patch, so it make my portal a little deceiving. Like, people feel it so they can't talk to me.
Yeah. Well, shit, you do have the eye patch. The eye patch.
That's-
I think that's part of when you look on TV, you'll see like a tough dude or some dude that like killed 12 people.
I'm past that.
With an eye patch.
Yeah.
It's like I'm past that though. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like being black in a way.
You know
You
what
know,
I mean?
you walk up, you black, you the only black person. People looking at you, clutching their purses. I remember walking down the street
Life
and people
skills is
locking
real.
their car doors. It's just people look at you when they see.
running the lights.
Yo.
Exactly.
So just remove the eye patch, man. You remove the eye patch.
Right, and then
That'd be less of a threat to people.
Then they gonna steer deer. They gonna be like a deer.
No, you know what it is?
Why not?
It'll turn from
They supposed to-
fear to
Curiosity.
oh, man, like what
Curiosity.
happened? Like people want to ask you questions.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if I take my eye patch off in the winter, I get a head cold.
Yeah.
So I stop the wind from going to my brain.
Yeah.
Summertime, boom, pop out. I never had raccoon eyes.
Yeah. But see,
Never had raccoon
once
eyes.
again, what I mean, it's all about, perception when people are looking at things. But what I think the main thing that makes people, I believe, seek out perfection is not so much as what you think of yourself, but what other people think of you. I don't think a lot of people strive to be the best because they want to be the best.
Right.
I think people strive to be the best because you want people to look at you and either be proud of you. You want people to look at you and think that you're better than what you are. Like, I went a lot of places and done poetry. And if people like judge you just based off of like your performances and everything, they look at me and it's like all of a sudden you hear some love poems and people think they know you, but you might hear like y'all are comedians, so they hear the funny out of you, but they don't hear the pain out of you.
Right.
They gonna hear the pain.
They don't see the angry.
Yeah, they hear the pain from Billy Rick though. They do hear from Billy
They
Rick.
gonna get the anger. They gonna get the pain. They gonna get the truth. Like,
Yeah.
But Mike,
I haven't-
Contrary to what you said, right? As a performer, that's why you put yourself out there, though.
Oh yeah, all day.
Like, you put yourself out there to be judged and criticized. You know what I mean? Because you can do that stuff in the privacy of your own home.
Well, see, me personally,
You know what I'm saying?
I think when I go to perform, I think that I do it more so in the sense of therapy because nobody can talk back to me. This ain't a conversation. I'm going to say what
Give
it
it
is
up,
I
man.
gotta say.
Yes,
and,
God,
and no
give it
one,
up.
No one's sitting there saying to me like, "Oh, I understand," because no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No,
unless you
don't.
walked in them shoes.
Yeah, you
We allowed to
couldn't
put our fists up.
possibly understand.
We're allowed to put our fists up.
Yeah. Nah, people going.
Nah, that's real talk
People
though.
going to snap. People going to clap. People going to do what they do.
Without a
But at
shadow.
the end of the day, just know when you hear me speak poetry, you only know an aspect of my life, and it's the aspect that I choose to share. And whenever I say whatever I say, you know, it's the truth through my eyes. It's my perception of my reality and the things that go around me. But I try to do it in an analytical way where I'm looking at myself. I'm not always going to put myself in the best light. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll put my deviance out there. I'll put my wrongdoing out there. But I'll put my love out there. I'll put my hopes and dreams out there. You know what I mean? But I just love the forum because it is like I'm going to have this conversation with y'all. And no one's going to say anything back. And if you do agree or like what I'm saying, you're going to be like, I know that's right. You'll,
Real quick.
Woo, it'll be just like that. But no
Fact.
one's sitting down engaging me like, hey, you know what? Back it up a little bit. Now you said, you know what I mean?
Well, it is people like that.
You know what?
That'll
I
try
have
that.
listen. What Billy Rick?
I just heard
I've had-
something.
man.
I just heard that poetry is more powerful than comedy. I just heard it.
You just heard that?
Yeah.
It's words. It's all words.
Listen, because I hear it's like people actually talk back to you in comedy shows.
You ain't never lied.
He said they say nothing out of poetry. Oh my
Well,
God.
they just say,
But real
like,
quick,
I
real
know
fast,
that's right.
you might get a 30-second convo at a comedy show.
Yeah, you ain't
Right.
gonna get all that.
Oh,
Well, unless
I
you
just
done
learned.
doing your piece and you going into the next one and you're having a conversation with the audience.
But that's based upon you though.
It's different. You know what? It's different forms, though.
That's true.
But you know, something that's mind blowing to me though is, like, I sit back, I think about a lot of shit all the time.
Right.
And one of the biggest things I think about is there is no original thought. There is no original pattern of words. Everything that you say today has been said before. The laws of probability, it says that eventually something has to repeat.
Yeah.
So every time you say, hey, what's going on? What's for dinner? Somebody said that exact pattern of words
So
before.
you say all my one-eyed jokes.
All your one-eyed jokes? You think you the only one-eyed motherfucker
That's why
running
I asked
around?
you. You heard what I asked you. I said you said all my one-eyed jokes.
Yeah. It's the way
Everything
it
has
goes.
already been done.
Everything has already been done. We might not have knowledge of it. We may not have been in that moment when it happened. It could have happened
What did they say?
before
But
recorded
you
time.
know,
Nothing's new under the sun.
You know you can create new scripts though.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
You think?
Yeah, I know so.
You creating new scripts?
Yeah,
Yeah. You bring them with you?
they always with me.
They're always with you.
Huh.
See, with me, what I'm kind of looking at is this.
You don't even know you created a new script.
Nah, not at all.
He don't know he created a new script. See,
Here it comes.
understand?
Bring it.
The script is our generation. Once you do something greater than the person that you came under, you broke a script. The person that you came under most likely is used to poverty.
See, I'm not going to agree with
Listen,
you there.
I'm talking about hood, like hood wise.
Okay,
I'm talking
well,
about-
let's say,
I'm talking about because that's why I can't speak.
let's say within a couple of generations that you're aware of.
Like I can't speak outside of what I know.
Yeah.
Because I still got people still living in the same place that right, ain't nothing. You see what I'm saying? So and that just truthfully speaking, like if you can rise higher than what you was or what you came under,
Yeah.
you broke the script. You dig what I'm saying? Because they didn't learn past what you learned, and that's your teacher.
I don't know. Let me
Hey man, it's all good.
Let me tell you why. But this is why I say, like, there's no right thought or no wrong thought. You know what I mean? It's just different thought. And this is always my thought process. And so, as you know, our DNA, and I don't mean to get off topic, y'all, but I'm going to get off topic real quick. As you know, our DNA has enough space on it that they could store the whole internet and then some. Like everything, the whole interweb, the whole volumes and volumes. They're actually looking for, they actually have a way now to actually store information inside of you. Like literally use your DNA like a cloud.
Like
for
nano
your own information.
technology.
Yeah, so check this out. This is the thought process I have. So there was generations and generations and generations and generations that came before you, right?
Right.
So every time two people got together and had a kid, every generation that came before them that's stored inside of their DNA, they came together and made you. So all of that's stored inside of you. You just don't know how to access it. So there are sometimes things that you may know how to do really good. Like why randomly some people are funny. Some people are natural leaders. Some people, these are things that you cannot be taught.
Right.
You can't be taught how to be a good leader. You can't be taught to be brave.
But you wrote the script. You wrote the script because you reached it to a level nobody else from your generation reached.
Like I said, I'm
You
on the
hear me?
fence.
You
I'm
hear
on the
me? I'm
fence.
saying your generation. I'm not saying generations
Yeah,
before.
yeah, you saying my
Because
generation.
you only can stand up for your generation.
Yeah.
Because the people that's going, they're going.
But then it's going to be like, what do we really consider our generation to be? Like, where does our generation start? Where does our generation end? I have a brother that was 50 prior to him passing, but my youngest brother is probably about to be 30. So it's a 20-year difference.
Big difference, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a 20-year difference between that. So then I have to ask myself, how do we view those generations and all? You got what I'm saying?
That's your brother, though.
Yeah.
The gap is the gap.
Yeah.
It ain't your fault.
Well,
Yeah, man. Dr. Denham, you know.
That's one of them judges. You gotta be like, yes, my brother. He's he's part of my. He's
I
not a
don't
nephew.
know if he's. I don't see. Okay, if you have a daughter that has a daughter, and you have a daughter at the same time, they will be a part of the same generation because they're born around the same time. So generations, it's not so much as bloodline, more so because if you have one child and you have one child when you're 15 years old, and let's say you turn 40 and have another child.
Right.
So it's a big jump
Yeah.
between them children that they're not a part of the same generation.
It's the blood, though.
I gotta look. It's not the blood, bro.
Google it. Google it.
That's what I'm
Google,
about to
Google,
do.
Google it. Google
can't
it.
possibly be.
Google
It
everything.
gotta be a.
Sometimes I don't be believing Google.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Then why Google it?
That's what I'm saying.
Look, her niece ain't gonna have the same amount of your mom and dad blood that your sister got.
Well,
It's not.
my niece. Put it this way.
Even though they're the same age, she got more of your mom and dad blood than your niece will have.
So, looking at everything, I think it depends on where you come from with it and what you typically believe. And oh my God, this is just this is another conversation
Yes.
altogether.
A whole
so
nother-
I'm gonna put that conversation on the shelf
On the show.
because it's a whole nother basket of ingredients. A whole nother basket of ingredients. So, what I kind of want to focus on. What you say?
Yeah, he's sharp. And he know he is.
So my whole thing is, looking for perfection and looking for perfection
Right.
in our mates. Now, a lot of people can sit back and say, well, I don't look for the person I be with to be perfect. But a lot of times we look for specific things in specific people. Like, you don't just face value looking at somebody. You're not like, oh, I want to be with that person. Looking at somebody make or break a deal for most people,
Right.
depending on what you look like. Do you have physical attributes that's like attractive to me that's going to make me want to be with you? You know what I mean? So that would be the first thing people look at. Now,
Why is that though?
Well, because I think that we're just drawn to things that are aesthetically pleasing to our eyes, you know, and depending on the culture that you're in, you know, like everybody don't like big butts, but in a way, I think everybody is kind of innately drawn to it because in the animal kingdom, you know,
Okay.
that thicker,
The thicker that
animal
rump, yeah,
is
that-
going to bear the children and everything. Could you look at what's going to keep pushing forward the bloodline?
Right.
What's going to keep our species alive? So on an animalistic level, and I believe that we're all animals to a degree.
I ain't no
you know what
animal.
I mean? Shit, we all, man. Let me tell you.
Get out my brain, bro. Get out my
Let
brain.
me tell you, all
Get
day.
out my brain, man.
This how you know we animals.
Yeah,
So when two animals meet each other in the middle of nowhere or whatever, and they thinking they about to get down, right?
It's horn.
So you'll have in the animal kingdom, the women are the drab ones. They're not all colorful. They're not all anything. They're normally pretty dull. The men are the ones like the peacock with the feathers and all that jazz.
Okay.
That's a man. That's a man.
That's the pimp. That's the pimp of the peacock.
That's a man.
Wow.
Yeah, to draw the attention. The lions, they got the mane. That's the man.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
get
got what
that.
I'm saying?
I get that, yeah.
So, but why should the man have all the hair and the woman be bald head? But see, this is
You
what
gotta
I'm
see
saying.
them. Okay.
So, for human beings, we got that kind of backwards in a way. The women go out, make up their face, beat up their face, do whatever they got to do, stretch into stuff. But see, men are the more drab ones. But then, are we? Because what we do, you go in a club or something like that, or you going somewhere where you know women gonna be at, you gonna suck in that stomach a little bit, poke out your chest. Well, people who got that stomach gonna suck it in. You gonna poke out that chest, bring up your arms. You wanna look a little bigger than what you are because innately, subconsciously, you gotta show her, I can protect our young. I can protect you. Look at me.
Yes,
I'm big. Like we don't
Yeah.
think of it that way, but that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
You know what I mean? If somebody come over and threaten your ice grill, or a lot of times people will get a little bit rougher with their verbiage and all, trying to control situations. You know what I mean? A lot of men try to do what they think is appealing to the woman they're talking to. You know what I mean?
We call that fronting.
Yeah.
Oh, they
day
call it.
long.
What do they call it now? The young boys, they call it something else.
They're trying to
capping.
be perfect for the woman that's looking at
They
them.
being peacock.
They trying to be
They be peacock,
being
they
peacocks and roosters. That's another one. Roosters got
Yeah,
the
the
mane
rooster,
and all
yes.
they out there. You know what I mean? But it's so just weird to me when I think about it. At our very basics, you know, we're animals. We're literally animals. A lot of people just honestly driven by sex, which is really procreation. Because even when you lay down to have sex, what's the end result? You're trying to bust a nut. You know what I mean? It's not so much as how long it's going to take. It's not so long. It's reaching.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
getting to
These
that
women, the
point
women,
of
they want
feeling.
you to stay a while. I'm just saying.
Yeah, women want you to stay around, but stay a while. But how
I'm talking
many
about
dudes
up
do?
and
Yeah,
doing sex.
physically. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But how
What's
many
wrong with
people
that?
do?
Nah, I ain't trying. You don't want to stay in there too long. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real. I don't want to be in that long. I want to be in there, give you, give me, and see you bye.
All you gotta do is go jogging, bro.
Some people got work in the morning.
That's
Everybody
right. You know what I'm
looking to
saying?
be- Let me tell you something. If every night was a marathon,
Boy.
you'll get tired of it.
Tired.
You'll get tired of it.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
Weekends only.
Every night can't
Nah.
be a marathon.
What,
No.
Weekends only, bro. What you talking about?
So
It's on the
we
schedule.
we hit
So, but
up
they,
on-
you have, even that is needed perfection
Yeah.
for the women or the man.
yeah. Well, see,
They seeking perfection.
It's so
They want that.
crazy because I think to get the woman, men seek perfection. To attract the men, women seek perfection. When people lay down, I don't think that men seek perfection in that. They seek the end result. I think women seek perfection in that because typically sexually, I think that they'll do whatever they need to do to please their mate.
So they be so.
Yo, but I mean, as a man,
So what
I
you
gotta
think?
keep it real. I needed. If you're not giving at least something close to perfection, What am I doing?
Well, see, it would have to be perfection by standards because what you need is perfect for you, but what you need ain't perfect for me. So perfection would change from person to person and how they would view it.
Right.
See, me personally, you know, I never quite believed in, you know, somebody being perfect. And I guess because I grew up in the environment that I grew up in,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? I always thought to myself, like, I wanted to be better than what my dad was to my mom, so I always thought like,
course.
flowers and this, that, and the third. But then I grew up in a world where that wasn't what people wanted.
Right.
And I don't think people want that until they like get older. But
Of
most
course.
people don't even care about flowers and stuff like that.
When it's just a post on Facebook.
Well, I still to this day, I don't even care about the Facebook, the whole social thing. I just got my wife some flowers, just out the blue, no occasion, no,
Nah,
you
that's
know,
what you do.
just out the blue to make her
That's what you
know
do.
that you being thought about. I love
Like,
you.
what
You know.
you do, like, and
Listen, I've been
that's-
married 17 years, brother.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
Bless
That's
your
almost
sneakers,
a
so-
graduate from school.
Yeah, and we didn't even go to school together. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Bless your sneaker shoes.
but at the same time, man, you know, perfection. I know for a fact my wife ain't gonna get no perfection from me.
Well, she probably
Because-
know that too.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like
But
we
she
know, we
accept
understand each other. We accept that. So with our flaws, man, and accepting that, we know, okay, we're getting better with each other as we
Yeah.
go, you know, so
No doubt.
we're getting there.
No doubt. So
Yeah, Billy Rick, you're right, Billy Rick. Growth is to perfection. We're growing to perfection.
well, I think y'all are growing to a space.
Yeah, it won't be
where-
perfection.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess all in all, perfection is simply what's perceived by any one
The individual, yes. Yep.
So
yep.
y'all can reach a space where you can feel totally fulfilled. She can feel totally fulfilled. Y'all can totally feel fulfilled with each other, and be like, man, this is like the greatest thing ever.
You'll use the
We
P
reached
word.
the
You will
mountain
actually
top.
say that to
You
each other.
probably
You
would.
probably would say, yo,
Yeah,
this
you
is like.
probably would.
Now, and for me to probably say it and get to that, I would have to have a different tax bracket.
So you said the P word. So the P
If
word.
I say that P
so
word-
the P word is harder to say than the L word.
Yeah.
It-
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so.
Y'all just let me know that.
No. The P word I think is
So-
harder
so-
because it has to be that word P.
So if she
the
made
P
a
word is
sandwich-
set at a high, like
if
you
she made
said,
a sandwich-
higher
Yeah.
standard.
She made a sandwich deliciously good. And you said this is perfect.
Nah, she won't hear that.
Whoa.
Not for no sandwich.
Deliciously good.
Not. You can hear deliciously good.
Well, I guess in a
You can hear that.
moment, you
You
can
know.
call.
You can't be overwhelmed like this is perfect.
No. It took me a minute to get to that. Like that joint gotta have 24 karat gold
Tell you
cheese or something.
I don't think if I'm talking about food, I don't think I ever had a perfect sandwich. I had some really, really good ones, but never perfect. But I think I have had a perfect steak. I think I've had.
Hold up.
a steak
Where
that's
did you get a perfect steak?
Harry Savoy's.
It's a
That
perfect.
thing
Oh,
was
that's
like-
$100 right
that
down there on
thing was
Pennsylvania
like
Avenue.
Butter. It was like butter, man. Butter. But I mean, of course,
So he
in
cooked it.
objects.
So he cooked that steak to perfection.
Yeah,
He said
and
it.
things
He said
like
it.
That, and things
Mike
like
said it.
that, you can obtain it. I guess it all depends on the people. Like I'm pretty sure you had some pretty damn good barbecue before, where it was the best barbecue you probably ever had, and you was like, man, this shit, this
I
probably
don't think I ever had no perfect barbecue.
no,
You need
I don't
some
think
food
so.
stamps?
not
You
at
feel-
all, sir.
You don't need no food stamps? I just want you to go give me a steak with some food stamps. I need a food stamp, give me a steak.
You ain't gonna get it from Harry's Voice.
Harry
that's for sure.
Void, you paying for the
Right.
name.
No, you give
Well-
me that cash for my food
What,
stamp.
what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to do a little bit of comedy.
Okay.
So everybody can see what's going on. And prior to us getting started, I had this stuff pulled up on my computer, but technology, I looked right into it. There it go. I was about to say it didn't open up. You know how they do that whole face thing and you think
Yes,
it's just
yes,
gonna
yes.
open up, but it looks at my face sometimes and be like, what the hell?
Hey, Cole. It's watching.
So I
Lump
wanted to
is
let
watching.
everybody
Dang,
know.
watching.
I know I said
What's
it
up,
a
y'all?
couple times that it was gonna be that I was doing my last open mic, but somebody made me a deal I couldn't refuse. So On Wednesday, April the 14th, and Wednesday, April the 28th. It's going to be the second and fourth Wednesday of every month, moving forward until we're not moving forward with it anymore, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Dreams Event Space, 517 Avenue of the States. I will be having an open mic session. Come through, please. And pretty soon we're going to put together an erotic series. So I'm going to want y'all to come through and check that out. Your entry into that evening of open mic is $10, and all you have to do is cash app $10 to $ open mics on Cash App. You got what I'm saying? And then you pay, I make the list out or whatever. If you want to get on the open mic list, you can definitely inbox me in advance. Michael Storm Miller on Facebook, Quiet Storm the Poet on Instagram. Mindofthestorm.com is my webpage. You can message me there. Mind of the Storm on Facebook. Black Butterfly on Facebook. I got like 50 different places you can find me, and I try to pay attention to them all. I'm not saying I do a great job, but I definitely try. Which one of y'all want to go first?
Oh, Billy, you can do the honors.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, by the way, Major will be hosting these events, so come through and check us
Yes,
out.
God.
So giving it up to Billy Rick now. Give him something, bro.
I said, my name is Billy Rick, and I am a product of my environment. I had a bullet hose to prove it. I see life a little different from y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got one eye, y'all got two. I know what I hear, y'all won't hear. Like, it's right now it's impossible unless you get shot in the head and lose your eye. Mike know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
But anywho, so I'm dating a chick, you know what I mean? We get to the part, you know what I mean? We supposed to get down. She said, you know, I've been wanting to get with you. I just wasn't sure if you get shot in the head and losing your right eye was hereditary. So I was like, kind of like hesitant about having kids or anything with you.
Yo, wait a minute. Because I sat here for a hot second like, what?
Yeah, she definitely thought it was hereditary. Getting shot in the head, losing the right eye. And then one day I'm out shopping, like, minding my business. Chick walk up, like, oh my God, if you don't mind, can you tell me what happened to your eye? I'm like, I got shot in the head, lost my right eye. So like, oh my God, I think God answered my prayer. Oh my God. Listen, can you have a baby by me? I was like, wait, what? So like, I want to name him Teflon Don. His nickname can be Untouchable. So these the type of things I go through in life. You know, I use it to my advantage, like sometimes, especially when I'm in a store with a lot of people that look like salt. It'd be a little bit of pepper in there, but it'd be more salt than pepper. I got like 13% salt privilege. Yeah. I bumped this older salt lady, and this big brolic salt man started to get mad. Then the salt lady was like, pointed at my eye. He already hurt.
Just lay out.
So I take that 13% weight salt. I take that 13% salt privilege, and I strive with it.
Give it up for Billy Ray. All right, so next up, of course, I'm going to get a mic over to Major.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? My name is Major, and my acronym since I've been in comedy stands for Making a Joke Out of Reality. And, you know, reality is, man, life is hard, you know? It's really hard out here, man. You know, I'm broke. I'm payday loan broke. You know you got to be broke to get a payday loan, man. It's real. I went to get a payday loan one time, and I walked in. I said to the lady, I said, listen, I need a $500 loan. So she said, no problem. Fill out this form. She said it was an OD form. I said, an OD form, and when they start using acronyms, you need to ask questions. So I said, what is an OD form? She said, it's an organ donor form.
What?
Organ donor. I said, hold on. You want me to fill out an organ donor form for a payday loan? She said, yes. I said, look, see, I cut myself open and sell it and get more money on black market. I'm just keeping it real, man. This is serious, it's real. You got to be careful out here, man. People is scamming. This whole COVID thing is outrageous. It really is, man. I was on my way here, actually, and the guy pulled me over talking about he got COVID cards for sale. I'm like, come on, man. You mean to tell me, what are you doing with COVID cards? He said, man, listen, forget the shot. They ain't doing nothing but pumping water in you. That vaccine ain't nothing but water, H2O. That's all it is. So I'm going to save you the trouble. And I said, all right, I'm cool. I'm cool, man. I'm good. The last thing I want is a fake COVID card. You know what I mean? Who wants to go to jail for that? Incrimination, man.
Imagine that, going to jail for a COVID card. They're like, I need to take a flight.
It's
That ain't real.
I'm telling you, it's serious. You better, boy. And I'm telling you, and speaking of security, man, one of my people that like to fly out there, all the people, I don't know, it seems like since COVID, man, you can fly a round trip from here to Florida for $20.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm talking about, man, never in my life would I thought I'd see these prices, man, and is it me or what, man? I'm telling you, man, TSA, one time, we went and took my son, we all went to Disney World, and we said, okay, but getting there was okay. Once we got to the actual airport with TSA, I don't know if y'all familiar with TSA?
Yeah.
Okay, TSA, them acronym stands for take shit away. Real talk, because they will take your shit away, man. I'm telling you, and then you can't use certain words when you're there. Like, for example, I was all excited, me and my wife, we just got in there, and I'm talking to her, and I said, baby girl, last night, that thing was the bomb. Them motherfuckers pulled me over, took me, strip searched me. You hear me? All up in doing cavity checks, man. I ain't never, how you get that cavities in my mouth, but not in my ass. All right, let's ride.
Yo, so let me tell you, I definitely gotta say, I haven't seen so many people traveling in my life since COVID. I was telling people, COVID in a way was a little bit of a blessing. It was. It gave people that didn't have no money in their pockets. Man. It blessed them with a couple dollars.
I ain't get kicked out the house.
Yeah, people got worldly. They started traveling.
Domestic relations did go up.
Yeah, definitely.
And child abuse, it went up.
Divorce did too. I heard divorce did too in COVID.
I can't stand you.
You forced to sit in the house with somebody 24/7.
The side Jones was knocking on the door.
That's how it was going down.
They knew you was home.
That's how it was going down.
Like they had no choice but to show up at the door for
you. Knock, he's here.
I didn't see you in 2 weeks.
Hey.
You ain't going to see me.
Where you been at? You on lock? Forget COVID.
That's what I said. That's when I found out if people marriages and relationships was like really that.
Yes, God. That's the way you would definitely know and find out.
That was pressure, because if you used to going out and mingling and then go home to your spouse and you can't go out and mingle for that short period of time.
Shit, some people can't go home without drinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Boy, I remember a long time ago. I remember them days, boy.
Oh yeah, getting a couple beverages.
I can't even look at her unless I take a drink.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, that's real crazy, honestly. But
that is, isn't it?
Yeah, but something. I think sometimes people get with people and they don't know how to leave, or they like so vested that they can't.
How does
You
that?
got
That
what
don't
I'm
make.
saying?
But how can you be so vested that you can't?
I don't know. I never go that route myself.
Okay, because
But
I'm like, man,
I know
it's-
a lot of people do.
and they
it.
complain and
Yeah.
complain, and I'm like, yo, listen,
Yeah.
you've been doing this thing, you've been leaving, and then you go right back.
I've
I
had
mean,
friends that do the same thing. Just be like, oh man, this mother, I gotta go in.
It's the
here."
last time. This is it.
Yeah.
It's over for real.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Ain't never been
It's
over.
all fair.
Let me say the best thing you could possibly do in your life is find somebody that's gonna put up with you and your shit. The best thing you could ever do
Yo,
for
I
yourself.
took. That's why I took my hat to my wife, man.
Yeah.
17
No,
years, yo.
There's one before that. Make sure you can put up with your own shit first.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Well,
but
yeah.
that's the whole thing, though.
That's
Sometimes,
major.
That
most
is.
of the time,
That is.
you'll never
Facts.
love yourself as much as somebody else will. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not talking about self-preservation. I'm not talking about taking a bullet for somebody, this, that, and the third. But what I'm saying
Appreciation. You're
is,
talking
we
about
look
appreciation.
we look at ourselves, and we look at ourselves as nothing in the long term. I could ask you what you do at your job, and you could probably tell me like 2 or 3 things, 3 or 4 things the most. But then if I broke it down, I'll probably find like 25 things. But it's because I'm looking at you
Right.
versus you looking at yourself.
Right.
So I really think that we can never really love ourselves as much as somebody else does. You got what I'm saying?
Nah. I don't agree to that. I'm keeping it 100. Listen, one thing about me is I love me. Ain't nothing like me. If I could jump outside of me and kiss me, I would smother my lips on me.
You ain't gonna break up with
That
you.
was kind of.
I'm just telling you though, because
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
gonna
love
break up
yourself
with
before
you,
you love anybody else.
Dude,
They-
I hear what you're saying.
They appreciate you
And
more than
I'm
you
not
appreciate-
saying that you can't love yourself. What I'm saying is, let's separate something.
Okay.
Okay, here go you loving you. And that's fine. So go over here, hug yourself, kiss yourself, do what you do in your spare time.
Yeah.
Here go your wife loving you. I guarantee you, she's gonna love you more than you love you. She gonna try and stop you from doing the things that will hurt you that you would freely do without thinking twice. She gonna look out for you in ways you will never look out for yourself. She will give you more than you will ever give yourself. She will believe in you when you lose faith in yourself.
I'm gonna
She
call
will
my
make you
wife. I'm gonna go
stand
call
up.
you, baby girl.
She will make you stand up when you want to sit down. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, throughout all the flaws and everything, she will fucking stick by you when you don't even deserve it. So at the end of the day, I don't stand corrected. People outside of you will love you more than you love yourself. I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to do that right there. I don't ring that bell too much.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
So, I mean, it's kind of like something that I've gotten used to, like that whole thought process over time. You know what I mean? Like if somebody want to work out with you because you fat, you know what I mean? And you know you need to lose some weight, and they're going to accept you for how you
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
but they want you to be around longer because they want to enjoy you in their life, you know? And so in places and spaces like that, I don't think that those moments, they're looking for perfection. They're just looking for you to be a better version of you. Even some people go about it trying to nag you to that. I don't think you can nag somebody into that space, you know, but people try.
Yeah.
Talking is better than nagging.
Yeah, damn.
Way better than nagging. Like
Way better.
Yeah,
nagging is no different than complaining.
yeah.
Nobody loves a nagger. Nobody likes a nagger, no matter what.
Yeah, but some people do it. You know, I think in some people's eyes, it's how they love. Even though we don't understand it.
Yeah, and that comes back to that. That goes back to that animal,
Yeah.
that animal thought process.
Back
Where,
to what you said about that too. I told you like it was in my brain earlier.
oh, with the animals.
That real rap though. Earlier, I'm like, damn. I'm like, are we really the most intelligent species? Like, what we do to each other and to ourselves, like, is that even smart? Like, you got people that smoke,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You got people
Get
that,
high.
yeah.
People that'll fight and kill each other, rob
So,
each other.
so I sat and watched a video where clearly an animal that supposed to have been killing the other animal saved it on the highway. Like, I'm like, if animals had an instinct to understand and know, like, I gotta get you to safety. I don't know if it ate it after it got it to safety, but his main objective was to get that other pet or animal to safety. And it like blew my mind, like,
Well, I think that maybe we as human beings, we look at stuff and we think to ourselves, like, because we can build these houses and air conditioning, we can have cars and put planes in the sky and stuff, we always consider ourselves a step above every other life form on this planet. But I mean, to me personally, I think that most people, they look at themselves and they value themselves for what their monetary worth is or what their financial worth is. But I truly believe in my heart that a wise man has very little, because the more you obtain in life, the more you become prisoner to it. Go ahead and get a $2 million mansion. What's the taxes on that? You gotta make that money. If you don't make that money, you're gonna lose it.
That's right.
To me,
You know
like,
what I mean?
that's stupidity to put yourself in a bond like that. But in today's society, right, a wise man will be rich and wealthy. You know what I mean? Because society need a wise man. Society is in a bind and it's stuck. It's glued. Like, I do a search everywhere I go. Like, I sit on Scepter and I watch everybody with their head down. Nobody looking up to see what there's around us. I said, everybody do, huh? I said, everybody plugged in the matrix. Society need to unplug themselves.
Well, you know something? I think that we create things for needs that we don't have, that create needs that we now have. So they're in a process of creating more things that we don't have a need for, but once they're in reality come into fruition, we'll have a need for it. Before cell phones, we didn't have a need for it because we all had
Brains.
phones in our house.
We had brains. We had memory.
TR61212. Remember the old telephone
Yeah,
numbers?
yeah.
So we had phones in the house. Prior to having phones in the house, we went next door. Like, hey, like your world was like a couple of blocks.
Right.
And if you wanted to talk to your best friend, you left your home and went to your best friend's house and said,
That's exactly how it went
yo,
down.
is D home? What's good? I want to rap to him, whatever.
We
You know
had
what I
the
mean?
meetup
So,
spot.
yeah, but now our kids don't have to go through that process. You know, now most of the world doesn't have to go through that process, but they're still making things that we just don't know we need yet.
Nah, we don't need it. They forcing it on us.
Nah, they're not forcing it, bro.
Alright, listen.
They putting it out there and we're taking it. It's like if I put
I ain't
a
gonna say
cheesesteak here and I put a free, matter of fact, if I put $1 here and I put a gold brick here, you know what I mean? I'm not forcing a gold brick on you. I'm not forcing $1 on you, but you're going to pick one or both.
Let me rephrase my words. Not forcing. They introducing it to us. But they already, the setup already been planned. You know what I mean?
But see,
That's why I say we gotta unplug.
I always think to myself, can we effectively speak on something if we indulge ourselves in the very things that we speak against? It's like, can I speak on murder if I'm killing people? You know what I mean? Now, if I killed people in the past and I no longer kill people, then yes, I can speak on murder without.
There's a such thing called just though. You know what I mean? Like infantry. In order to become or overpower something, you gotta have to infiltrate it. You like you gotta learn how to breathe, how to sleep, when to eat.
That's how most people hunt.
Yes.
You learn the habits of, you wouldn't be out
Of
in the
your prey.
daytime hunting bats.
Yeah.
You know what I
You gotta
mean?
learn your prey.
Best time to catch rodents is at night. You know, it's just the way that it goes.
So you'll have to be a part of the system to help, like, to get the people away from the system. Like, it's crazy.
I think that we have to stop feeling so entitled. I think we feel so self-entitled to stuff that we, hold on, just hear what I'm saying. I think that we feel so entitled to things anymore. It's just the same way, if you driving down the road and you see somebody you know, and you stop in your car and you start talking to them and somebody pulls up behind you, even if you make them wait for a couple seconds, you feel entitled to that. And if you didn't feel entitled to that, you'll be like, oh, it's a car coming, let me go. It's like when we used to play football in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
If you saw a car way down the
Automatic reaction.
car, everybody moving. But now, let me finish this play.
And
Boom.
then we move.
Then we move.
We might move.
Exactly, depending on where you're going at, and yeah. But that's the whole thing. We had this sense of self-entitlement, like we deserve this and everything. So when they come out with new technologies and everything, they create it, and because we want so much,
You suck it up.
yeah, we go right after it. So it's not their fault. It's called supply and demand. If they came out with cars that fly and said, okay, everybody, not even to think about the implications of what that would mean. What if you ran out of gas in like the middle of the air? I always thought about that with flying cars. Like you get a car, you flying from here to Florida.
I don't think it'd be about gas.
Well, you go out of energy. It's a lot of people who put $4 in their tank at a
said you
time
got-
now.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean.
Yeah.
So what happens when you get, let's say, flying cars take like credits, and you get a certain amount of energy to make your car fly. Like what happens when you only got enough for a quarter tank, but you trying to go to
That
Georgia?
joint go down.
That joint definitely coming down.
That's what I was thinking.
You're
You
done.
know? Yeah,
It's over.
yeah, that's it. Ain't no hitchhiking up top. You know, you gotta.
They gotta what they I would think.
You're done.
Just as you said it,
Yeah.
they knowing it now and they'll implement some type of safety measure to
Yeah, that probably
You
make
know.
you land. It's like I have a drone, and
Right.
so when I fly my drone, when I only have so many minutes left, it automatically comes back to the place I started from and lands.
I'm saying that's
Okay.
You got what I'm saying? So it'll probably do
they can put
something
that in there.
similar.
They got that.
Yeah, it'll do something similar,
pretty
I'm
good.
sure.
Oh yeah, it's called man.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make is, if they came out with one today,
We want one.
everybody gonna want one.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's not because they're saying, hey, look, flying cars are possible. It's like people are like, oh man, that's cool as shit. For some people, it'll be a status symbol.
We actually,
Oh, I made it.
we actually control the economy.
But
Yeah,
they-
all day.
Yeah,
All day.
actually
We
control
driving.
it,
We're
like-
driving force.
Like if we spend money with just us, like we'd be up as a people. Like
Yeah.
we'd hurt them.
yes,
But,
God.
but let
We're
me
hurting,
tell
man.
you something.
We'd hurt them.
Yes, God.
So something that I've been knowing forever, and I think a lot of people don't know, and a lot of times I when we talk about spending and we say buy black and everything else, I want everybody to understand that race, honestly, it's a reality, but it's a social construct, and it's used to like divide people. Just the
It
same
is.
way sex is, the same way religion is. Like I'm telling you, there are so many divisions in this world that keep us apart.
You know it.
When the only thing, race and things of that nature is all perception based.
It doesn't matter.
The one thing that matters and the one real reality is the financial divide. That's the real thing that matters. So if a handful of people at the top can keep us grabbing and ripping at each other, that's what they're going to do. And the best ways to do it is to make everybody, it's the same thing Hitler did. Hitler made the Jews, he was scapegoating on the Jews. So the Jews was the problem of all of his people. You know what I mean? Make them get mad. They got our wealth. They got our jobs. They got our this. They got our that. So you paint them as like this horrible people or whatever that made people want to stand up against that. Well, think about it. Women, for the most part, still don't make as much money as men make for doing the same job. They're painted as weak. They're painted as a whole lot of things. And a lot of times they're just viewed as things to have sex with and things not to take serious. And so they suffer in their own special way. Then you turn around and you look at black males, because you can't just say black people. You got to say black males and black women are two different evils in people's eyes. You got what I'm saying? They can fall under a category, but not the same. You know what I mean? And sometimes I wonder what's worse. Is it worse being a black man, or is it worse being a black woman? And see, we got so many freaking labels, and I always tell people, when I was in the service, if I went to Wawa, if I went out to Olive Garden to eat, you'd be surprised at how I never have to pay anything. You know what I mean? If I show up as a veteran, and let's say I had like my blouse on from the, they call them blouses, but they shirts, you know, from like the military or something like that. Ain't nobody paying for my fucking meal. Like, it's a distinct difference. You know, America treats its service members very well, but its veterans very poor. You know what I mean? It's more white people on welfare than it is black people, but it's painted that black people are, you know, resoundingly sucking the country dry off of it. But when you look at the, what is it, like 13% African American in America and 70% Caucasian, you know, it paints like a whole another picture. But I guess it's per capita, you know.
Reason why the numbers like that, because they got a higher percentage of people, so they say, than we do. So our low number compared to their high number and percentage is why they make it look like we worse than them.
Yeah, no doubt.
On government assistance, you know what I mean?
No doubt. But see, everybody knows, but there are certain truths that are really like evident that everybody knows, that everybody has access to, but nobody chooses to actually believe. It's kind of like when everybody found out Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, it wasn't automatically taught in schools. You know what I mean?
Then it was like they got smacked in the face. But it's funny because I always said to myself, even as a kid, like, if the ending was already there, how did Christopher Columbus discover America?
Well, let me tell you
I always
something
ask
crazy.
myself that.
But something even crazier, and I don't mean to go all left field tonight, but something that's even crazier is simply this. So while the pandemic was going on and George Floyd got murdered and people was robbing and looting and burning shit to the ground, while all of this shit was going on,
What you saying?
the government said UFOs are real, and nobody said nothing. Nobody said no,
What they gonna say?
Really happened. It really happened, but nobody said nothing. And then I think back to all of those people who was saying, hey man, I got abducted. Hey man, I saw something. And everybody was like, oh, you crazy, you crazy, you crazy. And the government spends so much time discrediting people. And then all of a sudden one day they come out and say, oh yeah, that's real. How weird is that? And nobody still to this day, no one's talking about it.
You know
That's
why?
like,
Because they focus.
really? Shit, it was on CNN and everything. And fucking
You have to believe there's
UFOs
something
are
else.
real. Like,
You have to.
well, no, I've always
I
believed
try
that.
not watch TV, man.
Man, let me tell you something. It's a double-edged sword. I think you got to control what you put into your body. And on a deeper level, I always think to myself, like, okay, so energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. And I always think to myself, you know what that means? That means that we were always here, we're here now, and we'll always be here. Like, if you die today, the energy that is contained within your body, it doesn't go away. It's been here. It's here. And when you die, it just goes somewhere else. So then the thought process becomes, where's that somewhere else?
Of course.
How is that somewhere else? Or is it just like another, man, let me tell you something. It's
You can't like a spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't say, and this me speaking of like from experience. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna never say nothing I haven't experienced when I say something direct. If it ain't a joke. Like you turn into pure light.
I don't know. You know what I think?
Like I'm telling no. You turn to pure like light, like the lightning shoot in the sky so fast, lightning in the sky 24/7. But we don't always see it. We don't always see it, and it don't always be shown. That's how fast the soul come out your body.
I think that so energy is definitely always present because it's contained within everything. So it's always here. Like right now, we're hurtling through space
Without a shadow.
at about 1,800 and some odd miles per hour.
Right.
We're hurtling through space and ain't nobody flying off, and everybody say, like my daughter asked me, I hate to, once again, I'm gonna take it somewhere else. My daughter said, so if we were on the moon, and you know how they jump and they land slow, and they jump and they land slow? Yeah, because the gravity is supposed to be different. Right. So my daughter said, well, if they fell off a mountain, would they fall in slow motion? And I said, no, they wouldn't.
They fall?
Yes, they would hit the ground hard as shit, depending on how far the fall is. Mm-hmm. So gravity is different, but fucking speed is the same. So you're falling. It might be when you jump and you land, you trot, or whatever you call it, however you want to call it. If you were to go into negative space where there was nothing underneath you and you fall, you pick up speed. You don't fall in slow motion.
The drop is no different.
Yeah, the drop is no different. It's the same reason why you can take two objects and drop them, one being way lighter than another, and they both hit the ground at the same time. Speed affects everything like the same. But they did say something. Yes, Kevin, they definitely did say it was freaking UFOs, like is real stuff.
That's tripping.
And the whole time, what I would tell everybody to do is
definitely not
look that shit up. But you gotta understand, we ain't the only solar system. We're not the only galaxy. Like there's trillions of galaxies, and they also have found other Earths, like Kepler-1 and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. I'm so deep in on knowledge and education. I try to fill my life with so many things, but what it does is it helps me have bigger thoughts, bigger thought processes. It helps me look at the world differently, and knowing how huge everything is, it lets me know how small I am in the whole grand scheme of things, but how huge I am in the life of the people who know me. You got what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. I get it.
So you ain't small at all?
Well, not down here, no. But in the United States, yes.
You might not be small. To them, they probably like, oh, Michael's a big guy. You never know. Like, it might be this. It might be the same tempo, just a different type of flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even know. I want to see a Martian though, real rap. I want to see one.
I don't, man. Listen, man. Whatever's out there, I know it's out there.
You like just stay out there.
That's all I'm saying,
doing
man.
just fine
That's what's wrong with us, man. That's what's wrong with some of the people, humans. I'm gonna say humans because the color has nothing to do with it. I'm keeping it real. Color has nothing to do with the fact
That's
that
on my
we.
bucket list.
Yo, no.
Bro, let me tell you something. I think the whole thing is
What you talking about?
we let Hollywood define us and define our thought processes. So the natural feeling that everybody has is if aliens came here, that they're gonna eat us or kill us or steal our natural resources or probe you in the booty. Like it's like
Probe you in the
50
booty. You hear
million
that?
things. But let me tell you this.
He hard.
Dude has the aliens so if there's alien civilizations out there, why would we not think that we would demonize them when we know what we do to ourselves?
Sure. Yes,
look,
sir.
look, okay, black people are aliens in this country. Wait a minute. Chinese people are aliens in this country. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Mexicans
Yep.
are
Yep.
aliens in
Yep.
this country.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
So we get treated the same way that we view somebody over top of us. And I'm going to say they would be over top of us because they would have had to master like space travel.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So now
He said space travel.
and you know what? This is the weird
Yeah.
part. We're really assuming that they would share our intelligence. Like wouldn't be smarter than us. Like
Yeah.
right now, we might be like their 5-year-old. Like we might have,
How about
have that
that?
type of
It
intelligence.
might be a toy to 'em.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
they looking
true.
at us like, oh, look at the babbling idiots.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
we think because we know what 12 times 12 is, it's something special.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's
not
nothing.
at all. Not at all. But when you really look at things like that, you gotta be like,
You do.
wow. So in my mind, if they wanted to come and do something, they would. Why wouldn't they? Much like a little boy with a magnifying glass burns the ants walking across the
Right,
sidewalk.
right. So why?
not?
And they do a lot of experimenting, man. I mean, come on, listen. If they go over to the moon, there's no telling what's on the moon, right?
Talking about the aliens.
You never know.
They bringing something back.
The aliens not wasting their time to come down here.
No, they being taken. They won't come down here. They gonna take an alien.
No.
I promise you.
Yeah. They ain't got what it take.
Let me tell you something.
not?
I don't think
The aliens
just
got the goo, Mike. And know everything.
You crazy? Yeah.
And they know everything. And it's
I can't even tell you how disgusting that sounded.
It
sounded
did.
like a fucking alien, man.
It's the goo.
The goo.
And know
Let
everything.
me tell y'all, like when it's all said and done, you just gotta realize that we ain't the smartest things under the sun, not by far.
I don't think we are.
Quite honestly, most Americans only read on the 8th grade reading level, and it's probably getting worse than that.
And
Damn.
Not only that, the fact what they say we 3/4 of a man.
Oh, that was for voting purposes. Way back in the day when they was trying to make black people votes not matter.
Of course.
But over time it turned into your 3/4 of a man, period. But I don't even see why it would even matter because we was never really treated like a whole human being. So
That's what I'm saying. So how can I sit here and believe we're the most intelligent species, knowing that not only did I degrade you, I had you build my house and everything. I had you build a country and gave you no credit for it. You know, it ain't no way I'm gonna say I'm part of the most intelligent species in the world. I say I'm a part of some predators, like, cause that's all I see. That's all.
you could look at. I think I would more so look at human beings like I don't know.
Predators, man.
It's just
Predators.
we might not even be that. What if we were honestly just organisms living inside of a larger organism? What if this planet was just
So we
one
bacteria.
cell?
Basically, we
Once-
bacteria because
Basically.
we fucking up.
Well, we come from
Well,
it.
look at it this way. We would have to be because at the rate at which we're using up natural resources,
Facts.
and understand this, for every one person that dies, 2 people are born.
Right?
Let that sink in. For every one person that
That's how
dies,
your blood
2
cells
people
reproduce,
are
right?
born. And so what's happening is
That's how
we're
your cells
eating up
reproduce.
and using up natural resources at a very alarming rate. But then you got people talking about this ain't real and climate change ain't real and that ain't real. But that's why I keep telling people you better learn something. I learned something from everybody I freaking know. I learn lessons from everybody I know. Like, and it's so amazing because people typically think like I'm so intelligent. The sad part about everything is that I've learned things from my children. You know what I mean? I'm just in awe of how much the collective knows that I don't. So it's a resource when people know stuff. Like,
Of course.
somebody taught me, actually I just learned maybe a few months back that in urban areas and stuff like that, you can't plant food in the soil. You have to have boxes to build on top of your land. Yeah, some raised beds so you can plant stuff in, because the soil isn't good for planting. It got too many chemicals and stuff in it. You got what I'm saying? And I just recently learned that, but I've been planting stuff for a long time. But instinctively, I have been putting my stuff in pots and stuff like that. I
Okay.
didn't put it in the
And you get your own pot soil when you use your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you should.
But I was doing that like instinctively, but I didn't know that I couldn't just use the soil from outside.
But at first,
How
you
about
was using
that?
the soil? You started off using the soil?
No.
Never used it?
I planted except for when I plant like.
Are you doing
flowers
vegetables or anything?
Yeah, I do veggies like green peppers.
And you do that right
potatoes.
outside, right in the
No,
dirt.
I grow them in my house. I keep them in front of windows and stuff like that. I
Okay.
got one box outside and it's covered with screen, and I got to replant that. You know what I mean? Because
Hey, what's your address again?
yeah, you know my address.
Now I get it,
But
man.
it all
I
go
get it.
down.
And like you said, knowledge is key, man.
Yeah,
like I listened to this
That's well.
last
Knowledge
night.
is well.
Last night I listened to this financial literacy, man. That's what I want to teach my son.
Yeah.
Have him, because that's not something that we're taught
Oh,
growing
no,
up
not
as a
at
child.
all.
They never told us the things I listened to, man. In this,
Well, you know why?
You know what your
Workshop.
mom and dad will usually wind up telling you, your grandparents, whoever raised you, would normally tell you, save money for a rainy day. And they'll normally tell you, don't spend all your money in one place. Don't let that money burn your pocket. But that's not financial
That's not-
advice.
no.
Not by far.
Nope.
you got to make your money work for you, and the money
All
work,
day.
and that's
There's definitely that
we was
time,
never
man.
taught that, man.
Well, let me tell you something. I've been blessed enough to want to be an entrepreneur at an early age. So like 21 years ago, I started on a journey of being an entrepreneur, and
Awesome.
I made a whole lot of mistakes that cost me a lot of money, but I made a lot of money over time. I try to invest in things wisely. Sometimes shit work out, sometimes it don't. But understand that money is called currency for a reason. It's a current. It flows to you. It flows away from you. You know what I mean? It's always moving. You can never hold on, to money. You can't. It's always coming. It's always going. And I guarantee you, I prove my point by saying, let's say you want to buy a car. So you say, okay, I'm going to save up this money. Go ahead, save up your money. Something's going to happen that's going to make you dip into that money. No time is ever the right time. So what I've learned in life is, if you want to do something, do it.
do it.
Don't wait.
Nike told us a long time ago.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
where I'm
no
at, man.
perfect time.
But we have to do it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, and I know you always say, like, when you first started this, you were saying that you have to be yourself and entertainment and anything that you're doing. I can only be myself to a certain extent at work.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. I work right now where this is producing and taking care of my bills at this point.
Yeah.
I can't go in the job acting like I act.
Oh, no.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, even though people know and they see my cat,
See,
I got to go
brother,
now. Hello, how you doing
see,
today?
brother, that's because you're in a bond, brother.
I'm in a bond.
Yeah, apply to the authorities hiding thyself.
You right. Yes, God, you right.
Let me tell you something, though. Just the honest to God truth is, I laugh when people tell me how religious they are, because everybody speaks on being deeply religious or blessed or whatever the case may be, yet we have so little faith. Let me tell you something. In my life, I always say, and I tell my kids everything, God take care of babies and fools. You know what I mean? And I must be a fool, because when I want to do something, I do it. And typically, you never really know how nothing gonna work out because
That's
even
right.
with a job that you have secured, let me tell you,
There's no job
I
secure.
worked in a assisted living place before. I was a supervisor, and the craziest thing happened. Somebody said that I forgot to, like, I lost somebody's prescription. They didn't get their meds and they got sick, and they fired me. I told these people that I gave the script to the person I was supposed to give it to, but they said they never got it. And I swore up and down. What the hell is that? Oh, I swore up and down that I gave them this script. And guess what? That job that I worked so hard at, that I gave all of my time and energy to, man, they fired me like they didn't fucking
They
know.
ain't care about you, right?
They fired me like they did not know.
They don't care how much
And
dedication
what
you
I did
gave.
know is I never wanted to feel that way again.
That's right.
Fortunately, they wound up calling me back
Too late.
because they found the script.
Too late.
They found it. I did give it to the person. They put it somewhere. It fell behind something. So you fired me for nothing.
Messed
And
up
it
my life.
really hurt when they did that
Yeah.
because I'm looking at these people like they my friends. But guess what? They not your friends.
They not.
They're your
It's a business
coworkers.
deal.
It's a business.
That's
You're
right.
doing what you're doing.
It's let's
So
make
the
a
whole
deal.
Time, I realized if I ever want to do anything in life, I got to do it for me. So I'll figure out how to eat. I'll figure out how to make it work. And let me tell you, I will never, ever in my life work harder for somebody else again than what I work for myself. That ain't never going to happen. Let me tell you, if I need it, I'll get it. I can make something out of nothing. That's how I feel.
No doubt.
You know, and
No doubt.
I got tattoos on the inside of my forearms, but they all say something and they're just constant reminders. And this one here says, always remember that God makes something out of nothing. Therefore, when a man becomes nothing, then God can make him something. So what I realize is that, you know what I mean, sometimes you have to go down to like being nothing. And when I lost that job was like my identity. I was the HNIC.
Of course.
I called the shots. I did what I was doing, and it was taken away from me
Just like that.
It wasn't
Yeah.
meant for you to be
Yeah,
there.
all them times I stayed over, all them times I
wasn't meant
came
for
in
you
when
to be
nobody
there.
else did, and it didn't mean nothing in that one moment.
You got faith?
That's why I do comedy,
you
man.
got faith though, right?
That's where I'm at, and that's why I'm saying my mouth is going to pay off, man, because I definitely want to be an
got faith,
entrepreneur,
right?
and I'm an investor in myself.
Yeah, you got it.
That's the main thing.
So
Yeah, too.
it probably wasn't meant for you to get stuck at that job for a very
It
long
probably
time. Like, it's for them to call you back, they know they was wrong.
Well, you know what it is, though? I believe we all have purpose. So I think when you walking in your purpose, everything is like water, man.
It's
It
like-
flows like
like that
water.
tree.
But when you doing something that's
that
outside of your purpose, life is hard. Life is so much harder. And what happens is you'll get opportunities that you'll be afraid to take because you have this comfort zone. And this comfort zone is where we work at, what we do, you know, what we do to keep our lives held together. And we wind up depending on that.
That's
and
true.
we won't leave it unless it's taken from
Stuck in
us.
the box.
But sometimes you need that kick in the ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta say, fuck it. Like I know people who say, hey, I'm just gonna go to California. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Man, you
I got a
ain't
question
getting me
for you.
kicked out the
This
house.
Before you went to the surgeries or after
You getting me kicked out the house, Mike.
This was between me going into, I got out of the Marine Corps and before I went into the Army. You know what I mean?
So that's in between transitions.
in between. Yep.
So if had you had kept that job, you think you would have went to the army?
That's deep. Probably
I don't know.
not, because you said they were like your friends. You thought they were your friends, your
Yeah, I
family.
did.
So you felt obligated to them. You felt dedicated.
Yeah, I did.
So why would you leave them and feel like, yo, if I leave them, the business gonna fall, but it's
You
still
got a
gonna keep
point.
going.
You got a point. But see, it didn't go that way. So
Right.
I don't really know, but you definitely have a point.
Yeah.
But because I would, I don't know. Most likely, maybe I would have stayed. I don't know.
You have feelings when they let you go? Like you
Oh
feel
man, let me tell you
Did
something.
you share it? Yeah, exactly.
wasn't hurt.
The way you said it,
Hurt wasn't
man,
hurt.
You still would have been working.
Man,
Yeah.
Hurt was not.
and that's what people don't understand. They don't value their employees.
No, but they don't value employees because they don't have to. It's 100 other people out there. That's you. You're an interchangeable part. If you're working at someone's job,
You're
you're very dispendable.
Yeah.
And you're an interchangeable part. There's another guy or girl walking around outside.
That'll
filling
take
out an
half of what I'm working for.
Right.
Exactly.
And smile.
They
Hey,
got a stack
I'm
in the
here.
file cabinet already.
Oh yeah, ready to go.
Already like, oh yeah.
Ready to go. And people showing up to work, taking their first break before they start working. Yeah, they already just looking for a way to get rid of you, and they want to do it
course.
so that you can't get unemployment either. They don't care about you.
Yeah.
They do not care about you. They need a warm body. Very warm body. Let me tell you, I quit.
You ready to make me go get my 2 weeks notice right now?
Man.
And I ain't getting kicked out of the house, Mike.
Man, you're gonna be like, I quit. And your wife gonna be like, well, what's the plan? You're gonna be like, I don't know.
No, hey, I ain't gonna say no, I don't know. I'm going back to what I know, baby girl. I'm gonna be a stripper.
Yeah.
That's right, for senior citizens though. Only 80 and up. Ain't nobody else getting no money.
80 and up, a whole lot of bucks.
Yeah, 80 and up. I'm gonna get paid off of that. Them young people, they want you to do too much.
Bubblegum tap.
They want you to put grease all in between your kneecaps.
You know they ain't cougars. They
Yeah.
don't call them cougars when they that old. I don't know what they call them, but they ain't called cougars.
Oh, scavengers.
Somebody
Alley cats.
Let me stop.
You call alley cats.
alley cats. They
Gilfs.
call them
Gilfs.
cougars or alley cats. Gilfs. They all ain't gilfs.
No, they all not
All
gills.
not gilfs.
Grills. Grills.
I got a question though. I really be asking myself these type of questions. Like how long you gotta be faithful to a chick? Like, what if she don't work and you still working? You know what I mean? It's like, do you like suffer because her juices dried out and you still can go like, I'm really adamant about this question.
Oh wait. So you talking about like sexually?
You're in a relationship, right?
Yeah. That's why they make KY jelly.
Say,
Putting it out there. Why they make KY?
what is I say she don't like that? Like she be like, I don't even like that stuff on me. She just so frustrated she don't want nothing on it.
Well, get rub baby oil on yourself or use God's lubricant.
Oh man,
God's lubricant. Yes,
You
God.
know it got lubricant in it.
Indeed.
man, we gonna have to. Nah, we gonna have to go to
Better
the.
sneak it on there where ain't nobody looking.
You already know.
We gonna have to talk, man.
You don't know. Let me tell you, it's a screw for every nut.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
what they say.
It is.
It's a screw for every nut.
And I just realized, we ain't just realized, but we know that no matter what, they're not problems. They're called situations.
Yeah, that's it.
And then every situation needs a solution.
Yeah.
So you put a lotion on your solution.
Hey, solution.
Hey,
You know it.
one way or another.
Hey, man.
Now, even with all that being said, though, I think no matter what you go through, and number one, I think it's a crappy pool of people in the world to try to choose from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you find somebody that loves you, man, you better love them the hell back.
Yes,
Especially-
oh, man.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if she lost both legs. Guess what?
Yup,
I'll be driving
yup,
her
yup.
behind
What
me.
if you find two?
And that goes back to the fact of, remember when you started the perfection about, having that woman, you got the perfect face or liking the ass. I think we like the ass because if the face ain't that good, it makes up.
It makes up for the
That'll make up.
ass makes up. For
What?
the face.
Yes, it do. Because when you turn that way and that thing face this way, man, I'm in all day.
So now you deal. Now
Most of it, not all day. I gotta go to work.
Now you're gonna deal with temporarily satisfaction. Now you cut yourself short.
Why you say that?
Listen to what you just said. You ain't gonna want to see that face all the time.
No. But them cheeks, though, them asses make you change your mind. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't nothing like that donkey,
You
man.
ain't gonna be able to get the booty all the time.
If I see the booty, that'll make me change my mind.
Yeah, you just gonna work it out so that you always walking behind.
Yeah, some kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
What
She gonna be
happened
like,
to-
why you always?
Be like, I'm leaving. I point at her face, be like, I'm
Jane.
leaving your face, but I'm keeping your
He
ass.
said, her pillow gonna be at the head of the bed, and your
Yep.
pillow gonna be near her
Yep.
butt.
Feet up, feet up to the head. Feet to the head.
We cousins, huh?
Let me tell you something.
Sure.
Well, as we all know, they say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it's one thing that I noticed in my lifetime. I've seen some really beautiful women. I've dealt with some really beautiful women that their attitudes wasn't all there.
Oh, that's
And
it.
So then they wind up not looking so pretty.
Of course not.
And I've dealt with some women that was like, man, you know, but their attitudes were so beautiful, they wound up looking so much better than me.
So
Yeah. And see, and it's definitely not about the looks.
Nah.
It's about the heart.
Yeah, the looks help though.
And the mind. And she got a nice head on her shoulder too, man. We gotta keep that in mind, man. Because
2021, you gotta order.
hey, and if she can cook on top of all that, man, I'm staying.
You gotta
Let me
order
tell you
her
something.
2021, bro.
I've never been in a relationship where the woman cooked better than me. I always be the cook.
Hold up.
Always be the cook.
You gotta make her get to where you at. You gotta teach her. I get it. You don't want to give away your
You know
secrets.
what? I think I like watching people eat my food.
That's
though.
the government bull.
I do.
Okay.
I like
He
watching
said that's
people eat
the-
my
Yeah,
food.
you know he like CIA. He was like, I ain't nobody putting nothing in my food. I ain't
Yeah.
make sure what it is.
You know what
Not
it
at
is.
all. I just personally, I love cooking.
You a chef though. That's
I
in,
like
that's your that's in
watching
your
cooking.
nature.
people eat my grub. I'm like, man, I like people to critique my food and be like,
Like-
oh man, it was like this, it was like that.
So-
or
so-
this wasn't
Hell,
that
man,
good.
you know
you cook
that was
for
one of the
pleasure.
things. Oh man, open mics, the wings. Oh my
You cook for
god.
pleasure.
Yeah, I like cooking.
The satisfaction for others.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of how life is in a way. Anyway, it's like,
You don't live for yourself.
none of us do.
No, you don't.
I mean, unless you're selfish.
You're
Other
supposed,
than
to,
that,
you're supposed to transcend your energy on to the next.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So it's good to see other people happy, but I always say it's like a selfish thing in a way. And a lot of people don't agree with me when I say it, but if you give food to a homeless person because they say that they're hungry, you know, does that make you a selfless person, or does it make you a selfish person? You know, and I think personally that you're a selfish person when you feed somebody that's hungry, because you see them, you don't like the condition that they're in. It makes you feel a certain type of way. You want to ease how you feel, and so you solve the problem in the moment. Now we all know, giving them that sandwich, that's not going to change their life. It's going to change their moment, their
Temporary-
situation
temporary
right now.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's going to please them right in that moment. If it's cold outside, you gave them blankets or something, so you took care of that moment, and you can go home and sleep better because you did that. But what about tomorrow? Or what
Mike.
about the next time they get hungry?
Mike,
I'm just saying,
Mike.
it's selfish.
Guess what tomorrow is, Mike?
Tomorrow is,
It's hump day. Look,
it definitely is though.
look.
It is.
Mike.
I was nice to share. I can't move them in my house though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can share. It's not really selfless. Like honestly, it's our human nature
Yeah.
to be righteous, for real.
Yeah.
But we've been so deceived and misinterpreted as people that we don't even like our own self. I'm not saying us as individuals, but us as a whole, because they say majority rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, all in all, I think that we can personally probably move towards a better society. Personally, we can move to a better society. Is it just my opinion? If
That's good.
if we really honestly just opened our mindset, number one, if we dropped all these labels that we have, number two, and that we stop putting finances at the center of our world. When we put money at the center of our world, I mean, just look at it. People say money over everything, money over everybody. You know, people be, oh, I gotta go get this cheddar, this scratch, this change, this dinero, this guapo, this, you know what I mean? It's like everybody be in their bags about money. But what happens is, if you live your life in a fashion that promotes like goodness and understanding and things of that nature. I truly believe that everything you need just it comes your way. I think that the universe gives you everything that you need. If you
Yeah.
believe
Law of attraction.
in that ebb and flow,
Law
yes,
of
the law of
attraction.
attraction.
Law
If you
of
believe
attraction.
in that ebb and flow, let me tell you something.
It's true.
You live good, you'll get good. Hey, Shardy was good.
But you become what you create. Like
Yeah.
you create yourself on the inside. Like people not knowingly, like your thoughts actually manifest within your actions without you even knowing sometimes. Cause you can think something and you be like, I think I did this before. You thought about it so much that you happen to get up and do it. And like I had deja vu. No,
Let me tell you something. There's something really deep that most people don't think about. So they say a man is as he thinks, and that means man or woman.
True.
But let's say a human being is as they think. So if you take that into consideration, and like I told you, I do a lot of searching for like knowledge and stuff. I look at a lot of stuff that most people probably will find boring, but I find it so interesting. It's something like I really don't want to. Let me say this first. First off, they got these particles, right? And these particles, when you don't look at them, they don't move. But when you look at them, they move. And to me personally, that proves something in a way. It is because we are aware that things happen.
Right.
And if we weren't aware, then things wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? It sounds weird, but just
But that's due to like our nervous system, though.
no. It's due to the fact of our minds, of us being aware. We have no clue just how strong our minds are.
Not at all. Not at
Like
all.
I can literally tell you, everything I ever wanted to do in life, I did. And people could look at me and say, "Oh, bullshit." It's the honest to God truth. I've done everything. Really, there's only one last thing that I want to do, but it's not that I want to do it. I just want to obtain it. I want to buy a farm and have some farmland. That's like my last thing on my list if I have a
That's a
list.
smart move too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
That's smart. Like,
Well,
Grow your own.
yeah, but I'm thinking about renting out the land to like cattle herders and stuff like that, so they could come in, eat my grass and pay me. Like have your cows and shit come eat this and pay me, so they can graze and stuff for your horses or whatever. The only thing that I haven't really thought about is a lot of times with like okay, then you wouldn't really be able to have well water because that many cows and stuff actually pooping and peeing or whatever where
seep
your
into
land
it, gonna
is seeps
seep
into
into
the
it.
water table,
Yeah.
and so it can poison your water.
Gonna
You know what I
contaminate
mean? Yeah. But see, this is what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff,
Mm.
man, I look into a whole
That's
lot
deep.
of things. Yeah, no doubt. I was even looking at like
can't you
people
put a
thought
sleeve in?
processes on
Can't you put a sleeve down there though first?
the sleeve that way.
Like a sleeve down in the well.
No, because the well is just a shaft that goes down into a water table. So all the water underneath is
You don't
plentiful.
It's just open
Yeah,
right
it's just
there.
open.
Flowing.
So you would have to put a bladder
Yeah, the pump.
around all of the water, but there's no way of doing that. You know, and if it was, it would probably be so costly that it wouldn't even be worth it.
That's why
But
we
you
need to
can
go to
get like a
Africa. That's why,
purification.
listen, you can do that if you go to Africa.
Probably.
Africa, listen, it's a guy I know, I work with, from Africa. You can buy an acre of land for $4,000.
I can believe that.
And he done bought a couple, a little more acres than that. And
You
Put
can
his
buy.
mom house.
Let me tell you something. You can buy acres of land in America for cheap. You know what the problem is?
what location?
The location. People don't want to live where the land is. Like, would you want to go to South Dakota, North Dakota?
If the land
Where
is
it
cheap,
gets
why not?
Ass cold.
Man, it's
like It
Where
is.
it ain't nothing around.
But some cities are paying you to live there.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I didn't even know that, but it's a lot going
So
on.
just know you got to deal with the weather.
What's
You
the
got to deal with the
chances you get
changes.
visitors in South Dakota?
Well, the thing is, you want to be off the radar. You want to be completely off
That's being off the grid.
the grid for sure.
It's
Indeed.
things you can do
I wouldn't mind. I honestly myself, I want to live somewhere where if I walk outside, I could go outside ass naked, yawn early in the morning, and nobody calls the cops.
You want to live in a jungle.
He trying to come out like Madagascar, Moto. I like
He
them
want to
dicks.
live in a jungle, mate.
Yes, indeed.
I just want to be somewhere where I can't
Free.
see my neighbor. I don't want my neighbor to be.
You want to be out there with Kanye? Got where Kanye living out there? We in Arkansas
I
somewhere.
got a serious question.
He had
I got a serious. No. Who the hell named Tarzan?
Who named him?
Yeah.
Probably his mom and dad. I don't know.
Nah,
Or the animals.
who named
which
Tarzan?
animal- Which animal fucking named him?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he grew up with
Oh,
the monkey
you. So which
from
one?
the shipwreck.
So I guess they probably edited in. Knowing us, you know how it do. It gets tampered with once it reaches. Yeah, he probably didn't even have a name. It was just a sound. His name was a sound.
Facts.
Probably so.
How about it?
That's how I heard that story. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, when it comes down to them thinking that we're the most intelligent, if I could round back to that, I mean, how do we know that animals aren't more intelligent? They just don't show us.
Well, listen, I had a debate about that with a guy at my job, man. It's a guy that we talk about, and he just animals don't think like us. They don't react. They don't, but I don't know,
Let
man.
me tell you something. Animals, they build, they have children and families. I mean, all of them. Well, it's only a couple of animals
And they
that
talk.
like mate for life. Yeah, they talk just in their own language.
I don't language.
You know what I mean? They know how to survive. They have problem solving skills.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And most of them, they don't have a desire to leave their home and go states away
Exactly.
for a week or two.
That's
and
true.
then
That's
come
true.
all the way back.
Or forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
Ever.
Man, I tell you. Anyway,
You ever had your best aunt leave and just never came back? Like the one that took you away from your hurt and pain, like the one that took you to the movies and butter popcorns and Skittles. Like,
I had a teacher like that. She took me to the movie, Miss Buckner.
man, that's
I remember her. I wonder what she's doing now.
It's Buckner,
I
huh?
don't see her on Facebook. I just don't know her first name. So
Angie
she-
Buckner.
she was a freaking, what do you call that? Elementary school teacher. I was like in the first grade or something. I don't even know if I can find her if I try.
Yeah, Mike ain't no young chicken.
About it.
Who don't care?
It's all good, man. He OG.
Double OG, triple stamp, OG hashtag.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you something. I remember she took me to go see Star Wars.
Right?
Yep. When I first saw Star Wars, it was in the theater, and she took me there. I think it was me and her son she took. But I remember I was in first grade. She used to always give me like extra cookies and stuff like that.
Oh, you was the one. You was
That
the
was
one.
my teacher, man.
Nah, man, listen. You can't sit here and tell me you ain't never thought about
No, when I was
one of your teachers.
when I was a kid, I probably had a crush on her.
Mike,
Yeah,
you know how many movies you seen as a kid?
probably too many.
No, in the movie theater.
In a movie theater?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they used to have the drive-in.
Oh, you went to the movies a lot then.
Yeah, no, well, we went. I could probably count on two hands, maybe.
Shit. Baby, how many times you went?
Man, I didn't go when we was Granite Run. Remember we was doing the Granite Run?
No, I said as a kid. I didn't say as a teenager.
I was a kid. Oh no, I didn't never go. What you mean? I ain't go to no movies,
I
no.
seen Breaking. I seen E.T. and I seen The Last Dragon with Leroy Green. They the only movies I seen
Did I
as a
go to
kid.
the movies for The Last Dragon?
Nah, I ain't
Tell
know.
you something. That movie right there, classic, all time. I don't care what nobody says.
That's where my
Bruce
glow,
Leroy.
that's where my glow at.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
That's where my glow at right now. You know what I mean?
Shogun of Harlem.
I ain't kissed no con.
Man.
I was a con. Now
I
I'm an
remember I
ex
saw
con.
Friday the 13th at the movies. I saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we wasn't no movie family. We did movies, but it was like You had to listen. We did. It was like a music, 8 tracks, and
Well, see, it was the drive-in. I'm telling you, we would drive up. You turn your van sideways or whatever.
yeah, they ain't.
Watch.
Now I don't remember that. I don't remember them days.
No?
We ain't do no movies, man.
Well, I'm almost 50 though.
It don't
So
matter,
I
but
might
we
be a
still.
little- How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 43.
See, so
But still, listen.
collectively, I was already out and doing stuff before y'all got old enough, and,
Yeah.
and after too long, the drive-in closed down. There wasn't no more drive-in.
Yeah,
That
man.
shit, that was sad.
But you said you're almost 50, right?
Yeah,
Oh, what is almost 50?
almost 50, 47.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you right there.
You
You
gave us
know.
our number. Like
Yeah.
you want to say almost 50. Now we gonna be on equal
Let me tell you something.
level here.
No doubt.
Let me tell you something. So if you 43, right?
Right.
So I got 4 years on you.
Yes.
So let me show you what that feels like in a way. If somebody came today to say, I can kill you now, or I'll give you 4 years and come to kill you on when that 4th year is over, you would take those 4 years. That 4 years is a lot of time. If you was stuck on a desert island and you had to wait 4 years to get rescued, if you had to suffer 4 years, if you had to go to prison for 4
Hey
years,
man, been there,
you
done
tired.
that. So I already know.
Hey, that don't mean you wouldn't be there.
No, sir. Hey, listen. And not only that, hey, listen,
What can I
man.
do now?
He's like, I'm tired.
Like, bro, like when I say I got a billion, I smack my mom over. Like, man, I'd rather have this billion than be in jail.
Yeah, nobody.
Hey, man. I did 2 days in jail. Changed my life.
Hey, you said
2 days. You see what I'm saying?
you said I'll never do.
Sometimes it take people 2 years, 2 months. Man, listen. I was there 2 minutes too
Man,
long.
It took 2 days. It actually took me to watch Ayana to change my life.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Cause Ayana does change the life.
It took me to watch this.
You know, I've never seen that, not one time.
I seen
Me
one-
neither, though.
one
I seen her,
episode.
but I never watched the
Like,
episode.
It's very therapeutic. Like I watched one
This
episode.
is very
and I
therapeutic.
and I changed my life. It's like I need to do what Ayana said. Look within, and that's when I started looking within.
Let me tell you something. The moment that I don't know. I think a lot of things happened in my life, and then one day I was just like, I can't keep doing this shit like this. You know, I always, I don't know. I was always like, when I was growing up, I was shy as shit. You know what I mean? And I was probably not as confident as I could possibly be. I think I may have had low self-esteem. But it's like over time,
But you grew up
all
in
of
that
that
era.
shit changes.
You grew
And
up in that era, Mike.
I don't know.
You grew up in that dark skin. That dark skin,
Oh,
dirty
where
era.
everybody was for the
dark
light
skin.
skin folks.
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
you thought you was dirty because you was dark skin.
Yeah. We
We
came up, man. We came up when Bobby Brown started coming
Yeah.
in. That's when we dark skinned brothers started kicking in. It's like it started getting real. Bobby
Yeah,
talking
bro.
about, it's my prerogative. That's what he said.
He really upped our credit.
He did. He
Bobby
did.
Brown?
Bobby Brown, yes, he did it,
He
man.
upped our credit.
Oh, no.
Bobby Brown upped our. See, it don't seem like he upped our credit because you had people coming up with him. You had Johnny Gill with him. You had Keith Sweat with him. Listen, you had some major figures with him. But Bobby Brown got Whitney Houston,
And see,
bro.
and then the name Brown,
Brown.
that helped people look past the actual color.
Well, Bobby
Major.
Brown ain't as dark as me.
Major.
I don't know.
Major.
Yes.
Bobby Brown got Whitney Houston, bro.
Yo, listen, I'm talking about.
He did it for the dark shade people.
Listen, and that's what I be talking about. I be telling people when I be like, yo, listen, I got that Bobby and Whitney love. I don't want the Jay-Z and Beyonce love.
No. Please don't have that baby, that Bobby and Brown.
Without the drugs.
Oh,
Without the drugs.
so y'all went to AA in this.
We got it. Yo, we yes, got it all out with it. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all can rock with
It's
that.
a lot going on in the other houses that you can't see.
Right.
You know, the Michelle and Barack, you know, they it's probably more going on.
Well, we getting ready to, we probably got about 7 minutes left. I don't know.
Hold up, 7 minutes.
So, yeah, I'm thinking it's close to
Yeah,
that.
it's 5 minutes.
So, no, we got 9 minutes. So, what I like to do
Yes.
at the, like when the show is getting ready to come to a close is I like to give everybody a moment to speak on the topic, to give the last thoughts about the topic, and also where people can find you at on social media. So I'm going to start with you, Billy Rick. What's your last thoughts on the topic for this evening, even though we is all over the place? And where can people find you at?
I can be found on BillyRick.com comedy. Instagram, BillyRick1478. Billy Rick on Facebook. My about perfection, like really like I think like I take life my way and I think a little different, but everybody have their own perception. You dig what I'm saying? Like I know energy locks. So I find the same people with the same interests I have to be around and float. You know what I mean? So my perfection is just being that shit on the stage, man. That's where I feel most comfortable at. Like perfecting my comedy.
There you go. All right. Major.
Yes.
Where they can find you at?
Name's Major. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I haven't got to the .net and all that yet, but we're getting there. I'm on Downtown Jabuki Brown _Major on Facebook, and on Instagram is Major _Downtown Jabuki Brown. All one word. You know, like I said, I'm the only one with the craziest name on the book. And my take on the perfection is to realize that to set my standards at a point to where it's close to almost, but never will it be perfected. I've actually never, I don't think I ever used the word perfect. I don't think I have. So my thing is just trying to get better and try to just strive for perfection. I'll strive for it. Will I get there? We don't know, but we'll see.
Well, I tend to think to myself that I think that we spend way too much time trying to be something that we will never be. It's like me waking up in the morning, eating breakfast, getting myself all together, ready to get out the door on this journey so I can be a mountain. I'll never be a mountain. I could put rocks in my pockets. I could surround myself with bricks. I can do all of these things, but none of these things will ever make a mountain. So no matter how hard I work, I could work myself to death and will never be perfect. But what I can do is I could be me. I could be me to the best of my ability. I could be me consistently and constantly. I can be who I am. I never have to pretend to be any more or any less. And there'll never be any expectation of me being any more or any less. I always say to myself, if somebody gonna love you, man, they gonna love you for who you are. That's just the way that it goes.
If you not,
yeah, if you gotta dress a certain way, if you have to earn a certain amount of money every year, then guess what? It's just like if you apply for a job to be a surgeon, but all you ever did was made fries at McDonald's, guess what? You ain't qualified for the position. So if I have to be any more than what I am to be with you, for you to love me or care about me, then I'm not qualified for the position. Therefore, I don't want it. And I wouldn't apply for a position where I knew that I had to try to attain something that's unattainable. Just like I said, I don't give a fuck how many times you go outside and jump towards the heavens every day with your arms in the air. You will never touch the fucking moon. It's not going to happen. No clever sayings, no fucking rudimentary belief systems. No, oh, if you wanted to, you could. No, none of that shit. Just real shit. If you started from the time you could walk and jump, and you jump to try to touch the moon every day, it will never happen. You will never reach it. That is the same thing when it comes down to perfection. I don't care what you do, how you do it, you'll never be perfect, but you can perfectly be who you are. You can do that just right every time, every single day. You will never let somebody down being yourself. Even if you do fucked up things, you can't let somebody down because guess what? They know you do fucked up things. That's who you are. If you the one that come to the barbecue, get drunk and knock the damn grill over, if you do it year after year, are they even getting mad anymore? They're probably laughing now because, oh, that's just fucking you.
World Star.
Yeah, that's Uncle So-and-so. He gonna show up and knock the damn grill over. He do it every year. And then Aunt So-and-so fix her wig and start yelling at him. And fucking we all just go over here and fucking do this. You know what I mean? So, because you know perfection is unattainable, stop expecting it out of other people. Stop feeling let down when other people aren't the perfect image of what you built of them in your world. They will never be as perfect as you think they are. And the moment that they break the image that you have portrayed them as in your mind, you want to vilify them. You want to be angry at them. You want to say that they let you down when in honesty, in all honesty, you let yourself down because you built that world for them to live in and they don't live there. They don't live in that perfection that you made for them. And guess what? Nobody will be able to live up to that perfection. So, in closing, I want to tell you all that on April 14th and 28th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Dream Event Spaces. You can come through open mics. Just send your $10 to Cash App, $ open mics. And you can inbox me if you want to be on the list in advance to perform or whatnot. Because like I said, it's an open mic. I'm not going out to get any performers or anything. This is just going to be a true-to-life open mic. You come out, you do your poetry, you do your comedy. You want to sing a song, sing a song. I don't give a fuck if you play the spoons. Just play the hell out of them. Also, tell them about that.
April 10th.
April 10th, Saturday,
Philadelphia.
54 Event Space.
That's good.
54 Maple Mall, 19144, Philadelphia, PA. 8 o'clock. Doors open at 7:30. Listen, you should want to get there early.
It will be packed. That's good.
All right.
It's going to be crazy.
Crazy.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Also, just
Go ahead.
want to send a sympathy and condolence out to Chucky Johnson family.
There you go.
R.I.P. Chucky, man.
Oh, we gave up the moment of silence. So let me tell y'all something. Always find a reason to smile. Always find a reason to laugh. It's way too much bullshit going on in this world not to. Love you. Peace.
Right. Peace. Good night, everyone.
It's my cut.
La 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 la.